progress. It rarely happens as quickly as we expect. Am I right? I mean, most people, they think about the finish line and really forget the process. And that's where the actual growth occurs. A lot of times, the middle part, which we kind of can seem stuck in the middle sometimes, but it seems like, oh my gosh, nothing's happening. Nothing changes. We often face plateaus in the middle. But here's the thing, and I'm going to kind of go, I don't want to say super deep in this podcast, but we're going to kind of go deep. And hopefully I've got permission to do that, because it's the middle part where you're doing the learning. You're learning patience. You're learning resilience. You're learning self-trust. And I get it. We want the results fast, right? Just give me the results in 21 days and I'm good to go for life. But that doesn't always happen. We tend to ask why, especially when we're in that messy middle. Why is it taking so long to get results? Instead of just kind of shifting the perspective and just saying, what is this time teaching me? It's the journey that's the point. And so many of us, we miss the journey. We try to rush through things. We want the instant results because we're on to what's next, instead of saying, well, what's right now and where am I at and where am I going? It's where you develop character to sustain the results that you're looking for. And I think this is a big miss by a lot of people, because if everything came instantly, the change wouldn't last. That happens for many people. They get a dramatic weight loss, or they get a dramatic amount of income or something like that, or maybe they win the lottery, whatever. But unless we've really shifted and built the mindset or the habits that hold it, it often fades away very, very quickly. So I'm going to get into this great stuff today. And if you're at a place where you've been working hard towards something and just waiting feels like it's a drag, I encourage you to head over to talktoperry.com. There we're going to design a structure that just keeps your energy high, keeps your focus sharp, and your goals always moving forward, even when the pace feels a bit slow and, maybe results aren't coming super fast, but they are coming. That's over at talktoperry.com. So let me ask you this for a second here, just to think for a bit. How many times have you started something super excited only to lose steam once you're in the middle of the process, or maybe the progress is slowed down? Maybe it was a new workout plan or a new program that came out and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to try that. Maybe it's a project that you really wanted to launch. Or it could be a personal goal that mattered deeply. In the beginning, motivation's high, right? Motivation's easy. We show up. You think about the beginning of the year and why all the gyms are packed with people. We've got the motivation. We got the drive. We're going to do this thing, right? The vision feels clear. Then life gets busy. Results can tend to take a bit longer. You start to question whether it's even worth continuing. You let old stories start to come in and dominate. That's the middle part. Okay? That's the part that nobody likes to talk about. It's the part where people get really good at either drifting away from their goals, or they just become so good at quitting, they just give up. And this is a big aha for me, and this is why I've got this show and why I share this with you. It's the part that separates those who finish strong from those who fade out quietly. It's the middle part. It's not glamorous. And it's really, it's the repetition. It's the doubt. It's the delayed gratification. It's all this stuff that you start saying to yourself, oh my gosh, is this worth doing? But it also is taking responsibility and saying, I'm going to do what I said I would do. I'm a person of my word, even when nobody's watching, even when the payoff isn't visible. Yet. Powerful word, yet. That's where your identity starts to shift. And that's where you stop being someone who only acts when they're excited and something's new and something's got you fired up, but you're ending up being someone who follows through because this is just who you are. That's the quiet power a person has when they show up when they feel like nothing's really happening. There isn't the results. You're not chasing the instant result right away because you understand the value of becoming. So when you hold steady in the middle, you're discovering what you're actually capable of. I mean, I hope that makes sense, because progress, it doesn't always speak loud. It doesn't always create noise. Sometimes it's really hidden in the smallest daily actions that really build the foundation. So it's not the big leaps that change you. It's really the stretch of consistency. And it really teaches who you are under pressure. So you're going to find that in the middle. You're going to find that everything starts to test you. Have you ever had that happen where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go after this? And then, I do have a lot of friends that do this. They'll tend to say, oh my gosh, something came up. Always something comes up. I've got a goal. I've got a big thing. And then something comes up and derails me and I can't start. I've got to delay this. Welcome to the middle. And the middle will show up in lots of different things. Whether you're wanting to take a drive straight across the country, you're going to face some detours along the way. Whether you're going to want to show up at the airport and there's going to be a delay. Whether you're starting a workout program and then something happens. You got a tweak, or maybe your eating was a bit off. Whatever it is, there's a lot of things, and it's not about, hey, it's about not giving your power away to all the obstacles, or in the middle where nothing seems to happen. You've hit this plateau and you can't think of anything to get out of it. It's that middle where everything starts to test your patience. Maybe it's the scale that's not moving. Maybe it's the numbers that aren't growing. Maybe it's the feedback that's not coming. But if you stay consistent long enough, that middle becomes proof that you can handle more than you thought, because growth is not linear. My friend Angie has said to me, when we have a goal is not to get. Whoa, think about that for a second. A goal is not to get. When you've got a fitness goal, let's say you're going to lose some weight or get in shape, whatever it is, be a certain clothing size. A goal is not to get. A goal is to grow. There is the season of acceleration. There is this season of waiting. And the waiting isn't punishment. The plateau isn't punishment. That's preparation for you. And it's in the waiting that gives you perspective. Now, I get it. You're probably saying, well, you don't know me. I've been in this plateau for years. Well, maybe make some tweaks. I get that. But it's where you can actually just step back and say, am I stepping into who I'm becoming, and am I taking the actions, or am I justifying things? Am I rationalizing things? Am I putting things off? Really get radically honest with yourself. Because when you start to go through the middle, the messy middle, it strengthens your habits, your focus, your relationship with the process itself. That was the big epiphany for me, was when I realized I kept talking myself, or trying to talk myself, out of exercising. I dread it, and I would convince myself I was dreading it and that I was not motivated and didn't want to show up. I'd give myself a false promise that I would make up for it on the weekend. And then I'm like, I've got to make starting my exercise easier. So I did. But the thing was, as I was making tweaks to my eating, my workouts, my mindset, I realized I did not want this to be where I got a result and then that was it. Because here's what a lot of people will do. Let's say you're going to go on a mission to lose some weight, and you said, I'm going to do it in the next 90 days. By day 45, you're already checking out. You can't wait till this thing is over with. Have you ever done that at work, where there's like a walking challenge? You're like, only two more days of this stuff. That's the part where I want you to reconsider and saying, you know what? What if I just paid attention and made this a lifelong journey? What if I made this, to where I'm not saying, okay, I'm doing this just for a wedding or for a vacation or for a reunion, but I'm doing this for life, to be healthy, to be fit, to be happy, healthy, wealthy. There's always going to be this moment when you want to speed things up. I get it. You'll want to skip past the discomfort. You'll want to skip past the plateaus, the self-doubt, all that stuff. But those are the exact moments that really shape your outcome. That's where your confidence is built. That's where you create proof for yourself that you can apply to so many other things in life. Not from achieving the result, but from proving that you can keep showing up without seeing that immediate reward. And hey, I really encourage you, if you are ready to make peace with this process and still make progress, I'm going to pop that down in the lower third if you're on video. If you're not, just listen to this. You'll know it. talktoperry.com. That's where we'll create a simple plan that aligns with your effort and align it to your goals so that you can build momentum that lasts. That's over at talktoperry.com. When you stop measuring success by how fast something happens, your whole experience will shift. You begin to see value in the process itself. It's kind of like stopping, being aware, being present, smelling the roses sort of thing, right? Instead of trying to get across the U.S. and driving, well, maybe you're not listening in the U.S., maybe it's another country, but getting across your country on a drive, but you're enjoying the experience along the way, taking in the scenery, the quiet days, the repeating steps that you need to do, enjoying moments that maybe feel ordinary. Those are the chapters that strengthen your character, and they make your wins mean something. I mean, every person who's ever achieved something meaningful has to live through that middle, the stuff that didn't make sense at the time. The difference between them and everybody else isn't talent. It isn't luck. It's just they trusted the process long enough for things to take shape. The journey, that's the classroom. The middle part, it's the lesson. The person that you're becoming along the way, oh my gosh, that's the result. So just know you can choose to use your power and take control and really embrace this concept and really embrace the middle. Or you can let the excuses, the justifications, the drifting off course, the self-doubt, all that stuff, trying to skip and bypass things, you can let that control you and drain your power. It really boils down to deciding and committing to yourself and your goals and choosing to figure out new ways, looking at possibilities, learning and growing, and keep moving forward and enjoying the journey. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. Drop those down in the comments. I promise I will reply. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear. What's going on? I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find the show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.